Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Let's talk about Golden Boy's next young star, up and coming star, who Oscar De La Hoya says is the future of boxing. Vergil Ortiz, 15-0, 15 knockouts, good looking prospect, heading into contender status, has knocked out every opponent he's faced, hasn't really beaten any legitimate welterweight contender, didn't really impress me in one of his step-up fights, saw some weaknesses. But, the kid does have talent. He's very explosive. He has every punch in the book offensively. He's got counter-punching skills. He has great body shots with the left hook. He has a really good, strong right hand. The kid has it all offensively. I see a lot of great things offensively. The question is he fleet-footed enough? Does he have the IQ? Does he have the boxing IQ? Can he deal with athletic fighters who are not in front of him? But the kid definitely has some potential. I mean, let's be real. Oscar feels he is the future of Golden Boy. Or one of his future stars. He's even mentioned it in the past that he feels he's better than Ryan Garcia. Even though Garcia is the bigger star, this kid is most likely the better fighter. But I still think Ryan Garcia is a good fighter. I think he could improve. He could win a world title. But he's got to stop acting like a little pussy, man. Stop acting like a crybaby. Show a little more masculinity. And then maybe I won't jump off the bandwagon. But I think Garcia is better than what people think. But he's not the best lightweight in the world. Definitely not. Vergil Ortiz, he's still in the prospect stage. Golden Boy hasn't matched him with any real legitimate welterweight contenders. His next fight is going to be the first event Golden Boy is going to put on, taking Ryan Garcia's spot, as Garcia turned down a $200K purse. It is what it is. That's the market today. Fighters got to take a pay cut. You don't want to take a pay cut? Fine. You got to sit on the shelf, sit on the bench until a crowd, spectators are allowed back into venues. That's what it is. Disappointed that the Serrano-Katie Taylor fight was called off, but, I expected it. Serrano's not going to take a pay cut. Not for that type of fight, and I understand that. Vergil Ortiz, he's a guy that, he doesn't make a lot of noise. He's quiet. He goes about his business. Doesn't complain like a little bitch like Ryan Garcia. Doesn't act self-entitled just because he's got a few followers on his Instagram that he's entitled to this type of purse or this and that. Wants to brag about the richest contract for a prospect. So, this kid is different. He's quiet, he's serious, he means business, and I like that. Will that make him a bigger star than Ryan Garcia? Probably not, but you just got to watch this kid fight, see if he can continue these type of performances. He's still very young, only 22, so Golden Boy's taking their time. He has ability, but it's not right to just rush him into an elite fight when he can still develop, get that man strip fully developed. He's going to fight Samuel Vargas next. Danny Garcia leftover. He's most likely going to knock Sammy Vargas out. Vargas is not a real contender. Never was, never will be. Barely a fringe contender. Maybe a top 25 guy in the welterweight division. It is what it is, you know. First fight back for Golden Boy coming off the pandemic. They're not going to have elite fights right away. Look at the top ranked cards. There's no elite fights as of yet. But I just need to see Ortiz in there with a legitimate contender. And then I'll know if he's truly the future of Golden Boy or the future of boxing, as Oscar De La Hoya likes to say. To me, I think Jaime Munguia is the future of Golden Boy. I think that's his future star. Munguia is the middleweight champion. He's almost the same age as Vergil Ortiz. To me, that's their future guy, man. Munguia. But this kid is solid, man. He's definitely very solid. You know, his step-up fights, he had 2 of them. Unfortunately, they weren't welterweights. They were contenders in 140-pound, legitimate contenders in 140-pound division. One of them was Antonio Orozco, a veteran fighter who was a legitimate contender at 140, was a top contender. He showed some flaws in that fight. He got backed up by a smaller guy. He knocked him out in the 6 rounds, but, he had to deal with some resistance. He shouldn't have gotten backed up by a smaller guy like that consistently in that fight. He even admitted that it was a poor performance. Wasn't happy about it, even though he got the knockout. But it was a sloppy performance. And then he destroyed Mauricio Herrera at Maestro. A veteran fighter, legitimate contender, 140-pound weight class. Granted, he was chop-worn, faded, but the way Vergil Ortiz knocked him out was impressive. I don't think Mauricio Herrera had been knocked out prior to that fight. And it was a physical mismatch, but, still, the way Ortiz got him out of there in 2 rounds, it was still impressive. But now we need to see him against a legitimate contender in the welterweight division. And I think it's coming soon. I need to see him with a David Evanesian, a Jamal James type. Who else is in the welterweight division? That'll be a solid test. Josesito Lopez would do even, something like that. Or trying to think of names off the top of my head. That'll be a perfect step up. David Evanesian will be the perfect step up fight. But he's most likely going to fight Josh Kelly. So, Josh Kelly is fighting a more dangerous contender in his 10th fight compared to Vergil Ortiz. But they're taking their time. But this year he needs to fight a top 10 guy in the welterweight division until we truly see how much potential this kid really has. He definitely has the offensive artillery. He's definitely an explosive fighter, a fun fighter to watch. Doesn't really have that star personality, but all you gotta do is, whip that ass in the ring, put in some great performances, and this kid's following is gonna get even bigger. But yeah, most likely he's going to be he's a better fighter than Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia is the bigger star. But this kid, he just goes about his business, doesn't talk a lot of shit, doesn't cry, bitch, and moan about money. He's ready to fight. He just wants to fight, wants to get back to work, wants to continue the development of his career. Be interesting to see what route he goes. WC, WA, WO. Will Golden Boy gun for an Al Heyman fighter and try to relieve them of one of their straps? But that's a time away, at least a year or two, until this kid sees a world title shot. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Who is the future of Golden Boy? It's not Ryan Garcia. I'm not sure it's Vergil Ortiz either. I believe that's Jaime Munguia. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.